Okay, just like last time, I'm gonna hit record and we're just gonna do this. This game was terrible. Arguably their worst game of the season. And I say arguably because they did have that 8-4 loss against Buffalo earlier in the season. That was pretty bad. Um, if there is one positive that you're gonna take out of this game, because there aren't many positives to take out of this one, um, I am glad that this was against Dallas and not a different team because Dallas, you know, I mean, if you lose 6-1, it's never fun, obviously, but at least it was against Dallas, right? I'm trying to find positives here, man. It's not easy with this one. Oh man, I've got some things I want to say. It's just funny, Brady comes back, and now the team is 0-2 since his return, and this team is now 1-4 when he's in the lineup. Interesting, isn't it? I'm not saying Brady is the reason they lost tonight. It's not, but it's just interesting. I think it is, right? 1-4 with your captain in the lineup, and then you play much better without him. Make sense of it. It's funny though, because in the game against Vegas, I specifically said during that review video, I'm like, hey, this team is 3-1 on their road trip. Things are looking great. It's looking good so far. They're playing tight games. They've felt like playoff games. But then at the end of that video, towards the end of that video, I said I'd never want to get my hopes up too much with this team because it can go downhill in a hurry, and it's starting to go downhill. So I am glad I did not get my hopes up too much because this is starting to look ugly now for this team. So we're just gonna get into it. Obviously, I'm frustrated. You never like to lose 6-1. So, yeah. Sunday, November 30th, the Sens played their 25th game of the season against the Dallas Stars. It was a 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern start time. This was the 6th game of a 7-game road trip, and I think this team is ready to be off the road. My God. Because, I'll talk more about that in a minute. So this was the second meeting of the season between these two teams. Their last meeting was a 3-2 overtime loss on November 11th. So, yeah, they are now 0-1-1 against Dallas this year. We don't gotta worry about them anymore. Not till next year, so thank God. It was Linus Ullmark in net for the Sens and Casey DeSmith in net for the Stars. This was also Ullmark's 300th career start. Didn't go great, did it? Sens were 12-8-4 coming in to tonight. They were 6-5-2 on the road, so really not a great road record, and it gets even worse tonight. Stars were 16-5-4 coming into tonight, 7-4-1 at home. I mean, this team is dominant. That's what I said. That's what I meant earlier, right? Like, if you're gonna lose 6-1, at least it's against Dallas. I mean, again, I'm trying to find positives here, but one positive lineup note here, Ridley Gregg was back in. He missed the last, I believe it was 5 games with an undisclosed injury, so good to see him back. And of course, not having Shabbat hurts a lot. It's very noticeable. It does hurt this team a lot. So I don't know when he's coming back, but yeah, it'd be nice to see him sooner than later. So yeah, let's just go ahead and dive into the stats here. Alright, so getting into the stats here, this is an ugly one. I mean, there's no other way to explain it. Sens fall to the Stars by a score of 6-1, their worst loss of the season. They are now 12-9-4 on the season, which is not a good record. They've won less than half of their games now. But Dallas is now 17-5-4, so like they're a good team, man. Like they're one of the Cup favorites. So I'll say it again, like if I am gonna lose, or if I am gonna see this team lose 6-1, at least it's against Dallas, right? Again, trying to find positives here, but this was ugly. So the shots were 26-16, just 16 shots for the Sens. Face-off, they did win more face-offs slightly, 50.9% compared to 49.1% for the Stars. Special teams were kind of garbage tonight. So they were 0 for 3 on the power play and 2 for 4 on the penalty kill. it's not good. It's not good. And Dallas was 2 for 4 on their power play. Penalty minutes were 10 to 8, with the Stars having the fewest. Hits were 31 to 20 in favor of the Sens. Block shots 11 to 9 in favor of the Stars. Giveaways 18 giveaways to 15. Stars having the fewest. Takeaways were 6 to 5 in favor of the Stars. And like I said, these two teams will not meet again this season. Thank God, because this is one of those teams that the Sens just cannot beat. Oh man. Man, oh man. what a game. So we'll go into my notes here. I kind of stopped taking notes when the third period rolls around, which is understandable, but I'll talk more about that later on. So starting off the game here, Dylan Cousins would go wide. He would take it to the net. That was stopped by DeSmith. Cousins is very good at this. I've noticed this a long time ago. He's very good at driving the net with the puck. He does this at least once a game, it seems. So, he's a big body. He's what, 6'3", 6'4". He's a big body and he's very good at it. So, now I noticed they ended up taking that shot away, apparently, because it kind of started off slow. There's really not too much going on. There was a scramble play around the net, but that stays out. The Sens net, that is. Then the first shot of the game for either team would come about 4 minutes into the game, into the period. So again, just kind of a sluggish start, really not too much going on. And then there was a one-timer by Beck that was stopped. One-timer in the slot that was stopped by Ullmark. That was a good save. And then Amadio would take a tripping penalty. The Sens would kill it. The Stars do get one shot on that power play. And then, yeah, so I put in my notes here, it's a very low shooting game, right? The shots are just 3 to 1 nearly halfway through the game. So there's really not too much going on, right? Which I was okay with. I've said before, like I think it favors the road team if it's a kind of a sleepy start like this. So Dallas would take a tripping penalty, and there was a one-timer that was stopped by DeSmith on the power play. And then the rebound was also stopped as well. Dallas would end up killing this power play. Stützle would take a big hit, and he went into the boards awkwardly here. It didn't look great at first, but he would get up and he would stay in the game. So he's okay as far as I know. So thank God. I was kind of holding my breath there a little bit. But I do believe he is okay to my knowledge. Amadio would take it to the net. This is a good chance, but that was stopped by DeSmith. And then there was a brutal giveaway by Dallas in their own end, and this would lead to a chance for the Sens, but that was stopped by DeSmith. They can't capitalize there. So we end the first period scoreless, and the shots were 7 to 5 in favor of the Sens. So it's a good first period, right? And this seems to be a running theme lately with this team. They start off pretty good. There's not too much going on in the first period. Then the third period, they just fall apart completely. So again, more on that later. But it's a pretty decent first period. It's scoreless. They're out shooting them 7 to 5. So I'm feeling kind of okay about this, especially against a team like Dallas. So not too bad. So we roll on to the second period. There was a point shot by Dallas, and this would deflect off of Tkachuk, and then it would deflect in off of, I didn't put who the Stars player was, but it goes off Tkachuk, and it goes in. I don't know what it is with opponents taking shots, going off our own guys and in the net lately. Not sure what's going on with that, but it's kind of annoying. It's kind of frustrating. It was Maverick Bork, that's who it went off of. So Dallas would score 1:58 into the second period. Maverick Bork scoring this one from Lyubushkin and Beck, and Dallas would take a 1-0 lead off kind of a fluky goal. It goes off a Sens player, and what can you do, right? I mean, now I'm still not feeling too bad after this one, because still close, fluky goal, whatever. So Greg would have a good look. That was stopped. Greg had a pretty good night tonight, I feel like. There was a pass out front to Blackwell, and his shot was deflected out of play. Spence definitely saved the goal here. Blackwell had a wide open net, and Spence got his stick in there. He saved a goal, or else that would have been 2-0 there. And so then there was a heck of a shift by the Sens here. That some of the Dallas players were on the ice for over 2 minutes, and they would pay for it. So Sanderson would end up getting the puck at the blue line. He was able to walk in, and he would score 5-hole. So that would tie the game at 1. So 8:36 into the second period, the Sens tie the game. Jake Sanderson scoring his 5th of the season from Perron and Nick Cousins, and we got a tie game. We're about 8.5 minutes into the second period, so we're tied up at 1. So we're feeling pretty good now. So then, how many times, listen, I really wish I was able to keep track of how many times I say, hey, the Sens do something good, they do something to get you happy and get you excited, and then immediately after they shoot themselves in the foot, they do something that makes you upset so much. It drives me nuts with this team. I don't know what it is, but it happens all the freaking time. And it's been going on for years, not just this season, but years. So, after Sanderson scores, there was a brutal, and I mean brutal, giveaway by Stützle to Robertson of all people, and he has all the time in the world, and he just coasts in, he walks in, and he scores. This is less than a minute after the Sens tied the game. It drives me nuts, man. So Robertson scores at the 9:20 mark of the second period. This was unassisted. So this was literally, 44 seconds after the Sens tied it. Dallas gets the lead back. And I did not like the effort of the Sens on this play at all. It's like Stützle gives it away, and it's like he just gives up on the play completely. But it's not just him. I didn't put it down, but there's at least 3 or 4 guys. It's like it's Jason Robertson, 16 goals on the season, but he just walks in uncontested and he scores. Like, the whole team just gave up on the play. It looked ridiculous. So, yeah. Needless to say, I was extremely annoyed after that play. So, yeah, Dallas goes up 2-1. So now Greg would draw an interference penalty. Like I said earlier, I do feel like Greg had a pretty good game tonight. I can't say that about too many of the Sens players. So he does draw the penalty. The Sens would get no shots on the power play, and they are now 0 for 2 on the power play to this point. They end up being 0 for 3 overall. Rantanen would have a shot that was stopped, and he throws it back out front to Johnston, and he would score. Yep. Johnston had kind of a big night tonight, by the way. So Johnston scores at the 15:33 mark of the second period from Rantanen and Robertson, and Dallas goes up 3-1, and I'm not feeling great at this point at all. So, yeah, they're down by 2 now. So now Zetterlund and Bischel would come together, and Bischel would go into the boards very awkwardly here. This did not look good at all, so he would actually need some help getting off the ice. Bischel, he was not putting any weight on that. I believe it was his left leg. No weight on that leg at all, so I really do hope he's okay. That was a very scary incident. Definitely hope he's okay for sure, so definitely best wishes to him, so, because that didn't look good at all on that play. So the Sens would get hemmed in their own end for about a minute. This is where it all kind of starts to fall apart. So now on this play, this shift, they actually don't give up a goal here, but they are very lucky to not give one up. They could have easily given at least one up here, if not 2, because they look tired. They look exhausted. I'll talk more about that in just a second here. I just want to finish my notes for the second period. So, Stützle would have a one-time chance in the slot, but he fans on it. He never gets a shot. He would have had he's got nobody in front of him. He's in the slot all alone. Puck comes to him, goes to the one-timer, and he fans on it. Because why the heck not, right? The Sens would press towards the end of the period, but they couldn't score. It just kind of felt like too little too late. The shots in that period, 6-4 in favor of Dallas. So it's like, so even though the numbers are pretty even, because like the shots are 11-11 after the second period, right? The Sens are down by two, but it's like, you know, it feels kind of close enough where like it could go either way if the Sens start taking the momentum over. But yeah, it didn't go that way. No. But we roll into the third period, and this is where it all falls apart yet again for the Sens. We have seen this before very recently, haven't we? So they showed some stats on the broadcast here. I was watching TSN. So Dallas is 10-0 when leading after two periods, and the Sens are 1-5-2 when trailing after two periods. So I'm like, yeah, game over. Forget it. It was. So Heiskanen would take a holding penalty 35 seconds into the period. So I'm like, oh, okay. This is their chance. This is their chance, right? And then on the power play, I didn't put how deep into the power play it was, but Spence would have the puck behind his net and he would try to like turn around and skate the other way, and he loses the puck, and then Sam Steele was all over him and Spence would end up tripping him. So there goes that power play. So it's like they look exhausted, man. It's like as soon as the third period hits, they look exhausted. And maybe the road trip is finally starting to get to them. Like they are 6 games into it, and this is now 3 games in a row where they have just looked they've looked awful in the third period, man. Look at St. Louis, one of the bottom teams in the league. Look how awful they looked in that game. And then the game against Vegas, they looked awful as well, but Ullmark stole that one. And tonight was the same thing. So that third period, I think the road trip has finally caught up to them. They need to get off the road. I think that's the main issue here. So, yeah, this was ugly. Again, 3 games in a row where the third period has just it's been awful. That's the best way to explain it. So we would play 4-on-4 for a bit. Dallas would go to the power play, and the first chance they get, it goes in. And this is where I kind of stopped taking notes. I was just very generic with my notes. It's like Sens get a power play, then they kill it off by taking, or they end their own power play by taking a penalty. Play 4-on-4. Dallas goes to the power play. They get one chance, and it goes in. Because why the heck not, right? And Johnston would score again. He wasn't done there. So Johnston would score at the 2:52 mark of the third period from Rantanen and Hintz on the power play, and this would put the Stars up 4-1. So I mean, I knew it was over when the third period started, but now they're up 4-1. Forget it. Oh man, but again, I put on this play. There's just absolutely terrible coverage and defending by the Sens here. Like all 4 guys, they're all right around the net, all around the crease, but they're just standing around watching. It's like, what are we doing, guys? Like, this is Johnston, which there is a stat. I know I put it somewhere in my notes. I don't know where it is, but I'll get to it. This guy leads the league in power play goals. You might want to keep an eye on him. Like, oh, I got it right here, actually. Johnston leads the league with 11 power play goals. No other player in the NHL has more than 7. You might want to keep an eye on him. Just saying. So Ben would have a tap in at the side of the net, and he would score. It's way too easy. He's wide open. He's got a wide open net. It's an easy tap in for Ben. And that would make it 5-1. So that goal coming 7:24 into the period. Rantanen with another point, and Johnston with another point, and the Stars would go up 5-1. And why the heck not? This is just a beatdown at this point. And I literally put this in my notes. The Sens are playing like they've forgotten that the third period exists these last 3 games. But I think it's just the road trip, man. Like it's got to be hard on the guys, right? I mean, you think about it. This is their 6th road game in the past couple weeks here. They got 1 left, thank God. But it's got to be catching up to them. Like going through all these different time zones, and that's a lot of traveling, man. So like when you really sit down and think about it, can I really be that upset about it? Obviously, I'm upset about it, but it just, you start to understand, like, they're probably tired, and they're playing like they're tired too, especially in the third period. But it's still tough to watch. So one thing I always do when a team gets destroyed, I always like to look for some kind of response, right? Some kind of emotion, frustration, and there was really only one occasion where I saw it, and it was right here. So Dylan Cousins would end up showing some frustration, and it kind of led to a scrum between both teams. But that was pretty much it. That was pretty much all the emotion that I saw. Like, noteworthy anyways. But funny enough, out of this mess here, Dallas would get a power play out of it. I mean, come on, you know what's gonna happen here, right? So, um, so Dallas gets a power play out of this. They don't score, but then the Sens would take a tripping penalty not long after that. I didn't put down who the player was. But again, I'm being very generic with my notes at this point. But um, guess who scored again for Dallas on the power play? It's Johnston. Yep, he scored a hat trick tonight. So Johnston scoring his third of the night at the 15:41 mark of the third period. Hintz and Robertson drawing the assists. And yeah, Johnston, remember that stat I said earlier where he had 11 power play goals? Make that 12. 12 power play goals. Nobody else in the league has more than 7. Just insane. You might want to keep an eye on him. Just a heads up. Any other team out there, you might want to keep an eye on him. At this point, I don't really have any other notes. The crowd started chanting Allmark's name, and it's like, okay, I mean, you're up 6-1. This game it's not Allmark's fault. Like, I know he's gonna have a terrible save percentage, but holy lordy, these point blank chances they were giving up. Like, this is Dallas, man. One of the top teams in the league. The only team better than them is Colorado, and we know what they've been doing. So, they could have had more than 6 easily. Like, man, oh man. So the shots in that third period, they end up being 15-5 for Dallas. It's just, the Sens have nothing going on in the third period these last 3 games. And again, I think this road trip is finally catching up to them. Sure looks that way. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my notes. Again, I kind of stopped taking notes because I was frustrated, and it's like, basically all you gotta know is the Sens look exhausted in the third period, and Dallas was all over them, and they showed why they're a top team in the league. So we'll go into the 3 stars. We know who the first star is. Yeah, first star of the game is Johnston, obviously, with a hat trick and an assist. Second star of the game was Rantanen. He had 3 assists. Robertson was a third star. He had a goal and 2 assists. Like, they destroyed them tonight. They absolutely destroyed them tonight. So I'm scared to look at the box score for the Sens, but I'm going to. So point getters, they only scored once. So Nick Cousins and Perron drawing the assist there. Sanderson with the only goal. Plus minus, this is interesting. Somehow Zub ended up being a +1. I don't know how it's possible. Spence was -3, Clevin -2, Manpolo and Jensen -1. What the heck? Oh, there are actually a few forwards that were a plus as well. So Pinto, Perron, and Nick Cousins were all +1. I don't know how it's possible, but okay. Stutzla was -3. Gregg, Batherson, and Kachuk were all -2. And Eller, Amadio, and Zetterlund were all -1. And then everyone else was even. So time on ice, leading the forwards, was actually Pinto tonight, not Stutzla. Which, yeah, I can kind of see it, because he did make that brutal giveaway. That play looks so ridiculous, man. Like, I know, coming back to the same thing I talked about already, but that pretty much, that one play sums it up right there. Like, just a god-awful giveaway to the guy you want to turn it over to the least, Robertson. And it's not just Stutzla, it was the whole team. Like, nobody's going after him. Nobody's trying to get the puck back. It's like, what are we doing, guys? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. So leading the defenseman in ice time, Sanderson again, but his ice time was a bit lower, 22:37. It's kind of low for him, but I thought Sanderson played pretty good. I mean, he was even in a 6-1 loss, which is kind of impressive. So for shots, Zub and Sanderson had the only 2 shots for defense. They had 1 each. And then for forwards, Amadio had the most shots. This is what I mean, right? Like, good on Amadio for having 3 shots, but I don't think Amadio should be your leading shooter. Like, I like Amadio, and again, that's great to see him with 3 shots, but he should not be leading the team in shots, in my opinion. Just, I don't know, man. This team's got to figure stuff out. So for blocks, Giroux had the most for forwards with 2, and Matt and Paulo had the most for defense with 2. And then hits, Matt and Paulo had the most for defensemen with 3, and Kachuk had the most hits for forwards with 5. And I do not want to look at Allmark's save percentage, but I have to. Oh boy. Yep, he stops 20 out of 26 for a 769 save percentage. Terrible. Like, it's again, it's not Allmark's fault. Like, I don't really blame him on any of the goals. Like, you look at these chances, man. Like, guys wide open, tap-ins. Like, the Ben one was a wide open net, tap-in. There's no coverage. Shots from the slot, like, guys wide open. The one where Robertson walked in. What is Allmark supposed to do on these shots? Like, actually, like, I don't know, man. This is, it's not looking good for this team. And like I said after that Vegas game, I said this exact same thing, and I'll say it again. Yeah, it's looking great. You know, at that point they were 3-1 on the road trip. It's looking good. They're playing some close games, but I did say I had some concerns because the third period has been a problem. I mean, maybe not as much in the LA game, but Vegas especially. And then the last game against St. Louis, that was terrible. Doing that against the worst, or one of the worst teams in the league, and now this. I don't know. Definitely some legit concerns now for me. So, yeah. So we'll go ahead and look at the standings here. With that 12-9-4 record, the Sens are now outside of a playoff spot, which doesn't say that much because it's so close, but they are 4th in the wild card, and they are now 6-6-2 on the road, 5-4-1 in their last 10, and they have lost the last 2. So, yep, not looking good. Not looking good at all. And they're kind of getting back to giving up a lot of goals as well, which I am not a fan of. So yeah, this is rough. Now, there is still light at the end of the tunnel. The Sens do have 1 more game remaining in this road trip. Thank God. I am going to be glad when this thing is over. But the Sens will be in Montreal on Tuesday, December 2nd. 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern start time there. That'll be the 7th and final game of this road trip. Thank the Lord. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. It's been a rough few games. I do have concerns, but tonight was against Dallas. Again, if we're going to lose 6-1 to somebody, I'm glad it's against Dallas and not somebody else. But there is still a chance that this team could finish at least 500, maybe even better if they win. So, you know, if you would have asked me that this, or if you would have told me that the Sens were going to finish 500 on this road trip, I would have been okay with that. I feel like a lot of people would have been. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. The Sens need a big bounce back game here. Big time, especially after this one. So, looking at Montreal, they have been struggling lately. So they are 3rd in the Atlantic. They are 13-8-3. 6-5-1 at home, so it's not like they're playing that fantastic at home. They got a winning record, but 4-5-1 in their last 10. So we'll see how that goes. And I do want to check real quick here, because I do know this is the second time they'll meet, I do believe, right? Ottawa and Montreal. Yes. So the last time they met was November 1st, which was a 4-3 overtime loss. So maybe get some revenge for that one. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. This was kind of an ugly one tonight, but it was Dallas, and huge night for Johnston. Yeah, please just watch him on the power play. Anyone who plays against him, keep an eye on him on the power play, or just in general. He's kind of a good player. You might want to watch him. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. So yeah, Sens are gonna go back at it finally for this final game of this freaking marathon of a road trip on Tuesday, December 2nd in Montreal, 7 o'clock p.m. start time, and we're gonna hope they can bounce back from this because this was ugly tonight. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap up here, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and go Sens go.